Hello, supers! This week on Paano Ba To, we're trying to answer how to get out of a rut. Paano ba hindi maubos? And how can you set yourself up to have a good day? I'm speaking with award-winning social entrepreneur Shawntel Nieto in this conversation. Your work is all about sustainability. And of course, with that, it also entails you living, working, hustling every day sustainably. Meaning, kaya mong masustain the way in which you work na hindi ka mauubos. In your line of work, how do you prevent burnout?
For me, it's about one, building a team that really brings the whole vision to life. You can't do everything by yourself and on your own. Definitely, in the long run, you'd really want to have a team that executes with you. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much a preventive measure. Second one is to develop the skill to really listen to your body and to maybe identify some symptoms of you being tired. Maybe it's fatigue. For me, honestly, ever since I was in college, it was if I lose my words because I talk a lot. And I've always tried to build up the capacity to be eloquent. But if I start losing my words and my vocabulary, that's when I know I'm tired. So sometimes, you want to identify those symptoms because your body also shows you and tells you or teaches you when you're tired. So that's another aspect of it. And then I think the last part is to then act on it. If you need to rest, then rest. There's no going around it. But let people know how you are doing and what you might. Kasi sa experience ko, may sasalo at may sasalo naman talaga sa
Mm.
trabaho mo. But you need to say something. Don't ghost people. Honestly, like, just don't ghost people and suddenly go, okay, bye-bye, Just tell them that I need to take a rest. I need to take a break. And these are the things that I need covered. Can you handle? And people would be able to do that. While you're on your break, siguro pag medyo patapos na, also try to reflect on what may have gone wrong, so to speak, so that when you go back to your routine, you know what to refine, you know what to edit, so that you prevent yourself from going back to a state where you're so burnt out. I guess those are the things that I try to do. Apart from, of course, celebrating small wins, you want to celebrate everything. Because if you're so focused on that bigger goal, which takes forever to reach, talaga mauubusan ka ng fuel niyan. So celebrate those small wins, those small victories. And I guess lastly for me is I try also to remember that it's not about me. It's not about myself. It's about something greater. It's about someone else. When I feel tired, when I feel fatigued, pag nawawala ng, di man ako nawawala ng motivation, thankfully, but siguro, kunwari may mga taong nawawala ng motivation, ako meron akong pictures eh. Parang mga pictures na tumatatak. It could be a candid photo at an event we held or something, just to remind myself of why I'm here, what I want to accomplish. And that gives me extra fuel to keep going because it gives everything so much more meaning. So those are some things that I try to do.
Oh, it was so detailed and thank you for sharing that. I love what you said about sharing it with other people kasi sometimes, well, I don't know if you are like this, but before, I try to not be now, have the tendency na parang sinasarili mo, parang ako na lang gumagawa lahat. But this is all in my head, right? Wala namang alam yung isang tao na parang nagtatampo ka na dyan or, di ba, yung parang, it's okay, Bianca, you can tell this other person that, hey, maybe you wanna share the load or do this also. Hindi yung parang we're creating this whole narrative na in our head, tas lumalaki. Tas the more we feel ubos because nga, tinan mo siya, ito lang yung ginawa niya. Tapos
Oo.
ako, parang may ganun tayo. So, I super love that tip about sharing it. It also makes, I guess, the other person feel that they can share with you too. Kasi hindi lang naman ikaw yung magpapasalo sa kanila. Eventually, you can do that for them as well. The Chantel that we see online and social media, you're always so poised and put together. Honestly, you strike me like very beauty queen like. And you said nga, model student, a student athlete. I'm just so curious, what does it feel like or look like for you on off days or quote unquote bad days? And how do you get out of that rut?
When people say that I'm super poised or well put together, that's far from the truth. Like I am the
Really?
clumsiest person in the world. But basically, on bad days, quote unquote, honestly, I just try to do nothing. Kasi minsan may mga araw talaga na wala talagang tumatama, na wala kang magagawa. Parang lahat na lang ng puwedeng mangyaring mali sa mundo nangyayari. We all have that. I just try to not to do anything. I just be like, "Okay, I'll wait for the clock to strike midnight and then it'll be over." I won't make decisions that day. I won't open big announcements that day. I'll just let it be. Accept it. It is what it is. It happens all the time. I mean, every now and then. When I wake up in the morning, it's a new day, time to refresh and then just try again. Beyond that, when things go astray, like yung lives kasi natin, iba-ibang compartments yan, di ba?
Right.
We tend to compartmentalize. Si students, may academic life, then personal life. Pag may career ka, then you have your work and all of these things. And then when you feel like all of them is falling apart, I try to control what I can control. I try to
Mm.
fix what I can fix. Sometimes it's me changing my nails para, okay, pagagandahin ko na lang muna yung nails ko, aayusin ko yung buhok ko. Honestly, marami 'di ba 'pag medyo nasi-stress nagpa-party sila. Ang mom ko alam niya 'pag nasi-stress ako kasi lumalabas ako sa kwarto plantsadong-plantsado yung buhok ko kaya kulot na siya. Inaayos ko lang yung kaya kong ayusin and then little by little, again, start with what's small and doable and then baby steps, staircase type. Work your way up and then understand and believe that whether it's a bad day, a bad week, it'll turn around din naman. Just keep doing the work and be extra careful lang.
Control the controllables. I
Mhm.
always try to keep that in mind kasi talagang mas nakaka-stress stressing over things that are out of our control. The bad days, they do turn around. And I think that through life, we find out ways that we can set up a
Mhm.
good day, ways that we can be prepared for the next day or a big day coming up. And a lot of times that has to do with what's on the inside, not necessarily what people see on the outside. Like I said earlier, very beauty queen ang dating mo, pero I'm sure it takes a lot of inside work also to come to work prepared. Do you have any habits or routines that you can share with us that you've been building to take care of even what people don't see from the outside?
I think for me, it's about really understanding where your weak spots are. I admit that I'm very forgetful, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing sometimes. And so I
Mhm.
always carry with me a to-do list. I have to have a planner or else I'll explode. So I
Also
list down
manual, not
very
phone?
manual. I have like a
Ah.
planner. Actually, sometimes it's on my stickies on my laptop, but right now I like writing it down. So I have it on a planner so I can see what I need to do for the day. And also, if there's something scheduled for a particular day, at least I can already see it. I might forget because it's 3 weeks from now, but at least when I prep up for the week, I see it and go, okay, I actually have to do this on this day. So that's one thing, really understanding where you might need extra help or
Hmm.
need extra focus, and then building the habits, as you said, or the routines that can help supplement your ability to resolve these things. I'm forgetful, I have a planner. I'm disorganized, at least I know I don't miss anything on my to-do list. Other things I'd say would be really having that good support system always, because you can never really underestimate the effect your emotions, your feelings will have on
Mm.
the work you get to execute. And so I think part and parcel of it really is having that system. I'm very privileged. I'm very happy and blessed that, my family and we're very close. So I get to lean on them a lot. And I have a good, tight knit group of friends I can rant to, I can speak with, I could get advice from. It's really getting that, because sometimes part of getting good days is understanding how to pretty much set yourself up emotionally and really fine tuning your perspective so that you can be in a spot or in a position to react to things on that day, to decide on things on that day, which will lead to positive outcomes. It's really about your perspective as well, how you see things, how you analyze and process them, which will lead to good decisions, which will
Mhm.
lead to good outcomes. So having that support system, both emotionally and mentally, is part and parcel of setting yourself up for success. And I think a last bit of it is really just that internal work of, once again, understanding yourself, building your self confidence, and loving yourself, really. It's very hard to love ourselves when we make mistakes. It's okay. You have to learn to laugh at yourself. You have to learn to forgive yourself, even for the things that you wish you didn't do. Because at the end of the day, that's what will influence how we show up to things, how we show up with others. And those things, again, these decisions, these actions that we make, no matter how small, they're the ones that serve as the building block for the outcomes. And anyways, when we judge whether a day is good or bad, it's based on the outcomes, right? So you really just want to make yourself someone who tries to make the wisest decisions, the most empathetic of actions, so that most of your days, most of your outcomes are relatively good than bad.
I love your answer on so many levels. I was just nodding my head because I agree a lot about the support system, about, well, you were sort of pointing towards what they call atomic habits, di ba? It's the little things that you do every day na sa totoo lang, it's not little because if you consistently do that inner work. And it doesn't need to be like talagang everyday meditation. Hindi naman yung ganon. It's just like consistent being aware of how you feel,
Yeah.
that you've prepared for the day. Doing that consistently will actually, in the long run, make you go through that routine with more ease. Kasi I
Yeah.
guess when you start the routine, iniisip mo pa, okay, I'm gonna do this. But the more you consistently do it, it becomes like second nature and you, in essence, come up more prepared for the
Yes,
day
it's
without you even knowing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Ganun talaga siya. Like, you build on the fundamentals, so everything becomes instinctive.